What a day, what an election, ladies and gentlemen. The BJP is storming back to power in 4 states. And many would say that the Modi factor still plays a key role. I think so too. Is 22 a trailer for 24? Let's debate.
अभी तो 10 तारीख को परिणाम आना है, बाकी है, लेकिन हमारे बाबा मुख्यमंत्री ने लखनऊ से गोरखपुर की एरोप्लेन की टिकट 11 तारीख की बुक कर रखी है।
Uttar Pradesh has voted Yogi Adityanath back with a record mandate.
अपने कार्यों के माध्यम से एक बार फिर से साबित करना है कि राष्ट्रवाद, सुरक्षा, विकास और सुशासन के मुद्दे पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जो प्रचंड बहुमत जनता जनार्दन ने दिया है, हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि इस पर हमें फिर से खरा उतरना ही होगा।
In a state where the opposition rallied to stop Yogi.
जब मिलेगा कुछ नहीं तब और किसी को वोट काटने का तो कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे हम लोगों ने कोशिश किया लेकिन सुना नहीं। लेकिन तब भी अखिलेश जी जैसा दिल लगा के लटके और चीफ मिनिस्टर थे भी, अगर हर कम्युनिटी उसका साथ दे, हर जनता उसका साथ दे तो उसको जीतने का संभावना है।
In Goa, the entire opposition descended to stop BJP, but the BJP has emerged stronger.
कि पूरी क्रेडिट मैं हमारे माननीय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी को देता हूं। सही में उन्हीं के लीडरशिप के अंडर हम इलेक्शन को गए थे। इस इलेक्शन कैंपेन में हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी, हमारे होम मिनिस्टर अमित भाई शाह और बाकी पार्टी के सभी नेशनल लीडर्स यहाँ जितने आके गए, उन सभी लोगों को मैं क्रेडिट देता हूँ।
While Aam Aadmi Party has made inroads, Mamta's TMC hasn't made a mark.
हर योजना को, हर कार्य को क्षेत्रवाद, प्रदेशवाद, जातिवाद, संप्रदायवाद का रंग देने का प्रयास भारत के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए बहुत बड़ी चिंता का विषय है।
In Uttarakhand, the Congress has failed to make a mark.
मैं हृदय से आभारी हूं और हमने जो संकल्प लिया है, हमने जो संकल्प पत्र उत्तराखंड की जनता के सामने रखा है, उसमें जो भी हमारे प्रमुख मुद्दे हैं, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड हमने कहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नई सरकार के शपथ ग्रहण करते ही हम स्टेक होल्डर्स की, हमारे प्रबुद्धजनों की, हमारे विधि विशेषज्ञों की,
कांग्रेस जनों और कांग्रेस नेतृत्व के बहुत प्रयासों के बावजूद भी हम उत्तराखंड की जनता का विश्वास जीतने में थोड़े कम रह गए। अगर लोगों ने विपक्ष के रूप में हमको अपनी भूमिका अदा करने का जो आदेश दिया है।
In Manipur, BJP has made a mark, bettering the 2017 performance.
From the very beginning, we expected that we are going to cross the majority, and BJP is going to form our own full majority government. And I would like to thank the people of the state also.
In Punjab, a state that was seen as Congress's only real chance, the voters have sent a message.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਚਿੱਕੜ ਸੁੱਟਿਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰਾਂ ਨੇ। ਅਰਵਿੰਦ ਕੇਜਰੀਵਾਲ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਟਿੱਪਣੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਘਟੀਆ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਵਲੀ ਵਰਤੀ ਗਈ, ਬੇਇੱਜ਼ਤੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ।
There's a national message that each state is sending out. Will the 2022 verdict change the course of national politics?
Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh leading the party to a clean victory in Manipur is my guest. Mr. Biren Singh, congratulations. You know, you've exceeded even the expectations that were set for you in the exit polls. And you said you'd do better, you've done better. So many, many congratulations, you know. First, your response to the overall verdict and what's the big message that you get from Manipur?
Thank you,
Arnab ji, namaste. Yeah, actually, just I want to thank the people of the state for supporting and caring of the BJP, and because of them, we able to come the full majority government here, and above all, the leaders, national leaders, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji, and National President Nada ji. You see, many leaders visited here and campaigned, but the mantra only which we use and we adopted was the Honorable Prime Minister's "Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas," or "Sabke Vishwas," or "Sabke Priyas." That since the government formation in 2017, I applied the mantra of the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and it works. That is the result how we came to the thumping majority, and of our own BJP government is going to form this time. And once again, I would like to appreciate the people of the state who really care and trust the BJP, Narendra Modi ji, and the work culture of the BJP party.
Mr. Biren Singh, by the way, for all our viewers, you know, Mr. Biren Singh is a very interesting personality. For those who don't know his background, he's been a journalist, and he's also been a great footballer. And so, you know, he understands the background of political situations, and if he wants, he can be both defensive, offensive. So he can even save the goals when necessary. Mr. Biren Singh, Manipur is the third northeastern state to now come into the leadership of the BJP after Assam, after Tripura. And of course, there are BJP allies also. Is the Northeast seeing a fundamental shift or a sea change in the political landscape for your party? Is the acceptability of the BJP in the Northeast now become a norm rather than an exception?
Actually, that is happening, Arnab. You see, once we the Northeasterner felt the alignment by the mainland Indians, the central government. But you know, after the Honorable Prime Minister became the Prime Minister of India since 2014, the love and the care given by the Honorable Prime Minister and his team is, you know, remarkable. And now, during the 2017, when the first campaign was started, you know, even in Manipur, we did not have the chance to hoist a single BJP flag. People were so hesitant. But now, this time, when the Prime Minister comes, you see the crowd, how people came out and how the people honored him. So now the people of the Northeast, particularly in Manipuri, are now changing our intention, our thinking towards the mainland, towards the Indian nationalism, towards the oneness. So that is the biggest achievement of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. That is the reason why we are achieving the absolute majority in such a troubled state and in such a troubled time. I would like to say it.
Well, many people believe that you are a certainty for Chief Minister now of Manipur. You're very popular. You played a great role. But there have been challenges also internally to your leadership. I know you're going to avoid this question, but how certain are you of retaining the Chief Minister's chair, especially after such a great victory?
Arnab ji, you see, just after joining BJP, I came to realize the many things, and I've learned many things. And now I am a mere caricature. My duty is to work. And my duty was as a Chief Minister to give majority, to make a majority government, but other rest will take by the national leaders, because BJP is a very disciplined and a well-organized party, and I don't care about the leadership or anything. But whatever the central leader decide, I will accept. But I'm not running after that. But I was worried about if I could not get the full majority, that will be a defeat of my political career. So that's the simple reason why I am trying hard.
Well, that's a fantastic approach. What a big day for you. You must be exhausted. Many, many congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, you see leaders like Biren Singh, like Himanta Biswa Sharma, from the Northeast right now, playing such a fundamental role in national politics. And I think that's a remarkable change as well. Thank you, Biren Singh. All the best. See you soon. Thank you very much. We're opening up the debate tonight, and I asked, is it a verdict to 2024? I request my producers to keep the live interactive grid on the screen as I welcome Tanveer Ahmed, Abab Singh Grewal of the JDS and the Aam Aadmi Party, Sunit Chopra, the unstoppable communist, Partha Pratim Bora, advocate and political analyst from Guwahati, Smita Prakash, editor of ANI, MR Venkatesh with me, Manish Bariyar, the leader of the JDU, Tom Vadakan of the BJP. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Grewal, is it, if I say it's a verdict for 24, there are two ways we look at it. A, BJP is through. B, AAP really wants to go national. And Arvind Kejriwal's speech was a declaration in that direction. Am I right? Isn't the sense second also correct? Isn't the AAP getting very ambitious? Is it for 24 or 29?
Mr. Goswami, it's a verdict for change. It's a verdict for governance and the governance models that they produce and what we give. And it's a verdict for the future. And I hope and I pray that the people of this country choose the party which gives them which delivers. Which I will not say that the BJP has not delivered, but what I would like to say is that it's the victory for the little man. It's the victory for the small man. And the small man has won, Mr. Goswami.
So that's whole positioning. You know, Smita was talking about it earlier in the studio. Spot on. You know, we were talking about it in the studio. And Smita said, Tom, to me, and we were talking, I'm sure she won't mind my sharing a little bit of this private conversation. She said, look at the positioning, Tom. He said, you know, earlier it was BJP versus all, Modi versus all. Now it's the small man, the Aam Aadmi, the common man versus big parties, big leaders. You know, the underdog. Tom, you are the Goliath, and they are the Davids. Tom, do you understand? That there's a danger in that positioning? No, that's yes. Tom, before he denies, respond.
Yeah. That is the kind of positioning they are trying, but the actual reality is this is a baptism by fire. Which, especially in a territory which is bordering Pakistan, there is a huge drug problem. It's all okay to make promises and sound great. But the point here is deliver. Now, let me build up on an argument. Of course, I've answered that question. Now, this small but very effective slogan is the key password for the success of the BJP. That is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. Now let me add, this is not just a slogan. The Bharatiya Janata Party are practitioners of this methodology.
No, they are saying they are the challengers for you.
They are saying
they are the challengers for you in 24. They are saying they are challenging you in 24. Why don't you? See, they say the Congress is over, we're in.
Well, they are.
No, but it's a reality, Smita. It's not a question of anybody. It's a party.
No, it's a party. They said it's...
Beyond that, no role.
I think
Smita,
denied
can
it
Tom
today.
get away by
Today
saying that
in the
anymore?
address,
They are here
it
to
said
cut the
it's not a
Congress vote.
party.
Beyond that,
It's
what?
a revolution,
Smita,
they
no,
say.
let me get
Well,
Smita's view.
revolutions come and go. But then he
No.
says himself says it's not
Don't,
a party.
Tom, don't underestimate, Tom, don't underestimate what Aam Aadmi Party can do. They have come to a frontier state. I understand that the anxiety among some people who feel that here is an unknown party or an unknown entity as far as national security is concerned, which is in charge of a frontier state. But just remember that as soon as they come to power, the day they come to power, they become part of that national security grid. And the national security team will be taking briefings, will be giving briefings to the party in power out there to ensure that there is a continuity in our national security agenda and policy in this country, regardless of whichever political party comes to power in the frontier states. That having been said, Arnab, I must compliment you on this interview with Biren Singh. I think it was so nice. You know, such a simple and such a non-pompous way of accepting that he has won a second term. I mean, it was so gentle and so nice, and you're so right in what you said about Himanta Biswa Sarma and Biren Singh. And also a pointer, Arnab, that many years ago, you know, people used to think that part of India, and I don't mean it pejoratively, I mean the people used to think that part of India, the Seven Sisters, is separate. You know, this linking, this look east turning into act east has resulted in this. It's not just sending a motorcycle expedition into the northeast. It is this integrating of northeast very much into the mainstream of India. This is why it is extremely important to think that, you know, all these experts who are coming in and saying, oh, BJP right from eastern India, you know, going up to Orissa, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, no space is the BJP present, and they can never enter. Rahul Gandhi said in Parliament, you cannot enter Tamil Nadu. That kind of arrogance that some politicians have, that this is a no-go zone for a particular party, has been proven wrong. Whether it is Aam Aadmi Party breaking the bastion and getting into Punjab, or BJP breaking the bastion and going into Northeast.
Well, I mean, I accept that it is a national grid that takes the brief. But
the poll is on the screen. Can I have Tanveer on the right, please, as well? Anand, thank you so much. And Tanveer, let me say this.
Such a threat perception exists in the common man's mind. My only plea is that, look, you are letting loose an anarchist. He himself admitted it's not the Bharatiya Janata Party saying this. I congratulate them on their victory, democracy. Every party has a right to come. But to believe that we had forbidden them from coming there or doing something against them. But I'm only pleading that Punjab needs to be extremely cautious. It's a sensitive state. We have seen situations going out of control. The central government will take cognizance of the whole issue, but I accept it. Yes, you have entry to all the states. No party has a monopoly. But my plea was that there's a magic.
Arnab, my good friend Tom Wadakal,
just 1 minute. I think you lost. It's all right, Anand. I'll get Tanveer on the right. Tanveer,
he's not happy that BJP has won the election. He's sad that Congress has lost the election, Arnab. No, my good friend Tom Wadakal is
he's sad that the Congress has lost.
He's not celebrating BJP's victory. He's sad that Congress, absolutely, that's how it is looking, because his loyalty belongs to Congress, and for the namesake he's a BJP. But let me, Arnab, today we have... Tom, whenever you open your mouth, we understand how intelligent you are. How intelligent you are, Tom. Whenever you open your mouth, we understand how intelligent you are.
Are you planning to join the Congress party? I mean, is this part of your campaign to join the Congress party? You're telling me, out of all the people, Tom, me very well, why I left the party and what are the reasons. It's on public domain. Now, to try and charge me of this, I think is unfortunate. Unless you are planning to join the party, welcome.
I think we have.
Tom, very happy in my party.
Tom, I will. Tom.
Who is
Tom,
there to fight
1 minute,
BJP,
please,
Arnab?
1 minute.
Arnab,
I will allow 1 minute. I will allow Tanveer to go ahead with this.
Arnab,
I will allow Tanveer. Just 1 minute. I will allow Tanveer to go ahead with this only if he gives it in writing. That for the rest of his political career, henceforth from this moment, right at this time at 10:20, on the 10th of March 2022, he will forever be attached to the JDS. I know Kumaraswamy is watching, HD is watching, HD Devagowda is watching. So in front of their presence, you give a guarantee and then I'll allow you to take this forward. Your powwow. Having said that, having silenced you, Sunit Chopra,
let me say,
the fact is,
let me tell, Arnab, 10 seconds, Arnab, 10 seconds, Arnab, 10 seconds. I will never join Congress. That you can really make a point. I will leave political life. I will leave public life.
That's not what I asked.
will never join Congress. I don't want to really say anything more. No,
that's
I
not
gave
what
you
I
an
asked.
answer.
That's not what I asked.
Left, no, there's any possibility.
Now,
of
can you and
joining
Tom
the
stop
Congress.
quarreling like children?
No, I'm telling him a reality. By the time he joins
the answer
Congress,
to that
there'll
is
be no
different.
party left.
He's very sad.
Exactly.
Tom, poor man, he
It's like saying I won't go ice skating in Nigeria.
He was a person who was working with Congress. You know, that Darbari mentality.
Can this stop, please? It's a waste. It's an absolute waste of time. I'm going to Sunit Chopra. Sunit Chopra is coming back on the debate. Sunit Chopra is coming back on the debate with Manish Bariyar and MR Venkatesh. The fact is, can the windows be made? Anand, thank you so much. The question is, if there is one big takeaway of this election, Sunit Chopra, it is that the BJP is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. It's not going to erode with time. Increase of vote share in 5 states. It's the mood, you know. It's the mood. The Congress may not even exist, but the BJP is becoming stronger. Sunit Chopra, accept it. Caste, religion, dynasty, the obsession is over.
The point is,
BJP delivered.
The point is, the BJP
is all set to win 2024.
BJP has lost more than it has gained in this election. But they have managed to keep the UP government in hand. I think the real victor of this election is the Indian people. The people have said that we are the voters. You have to listen to us. Yes. And if we choose to throw the whole lot of you out like in Punjab, we'll do it. And I have new respect for Indian people, Indian democracy, and I'm extremely happy that my country did not go behind the USA in this Russian and Ukrainian war. And more than that, the Prime Minister said today,
I didn't know
something that intrigued me. He spoke of self-reliance. And you know very well who were the people who worked for self-reliance for such a long time, coming down from Kim Il-sung. So people are beginning to look at the other side of the wall. And that's a good thing.
Which wall? No, which wall are you talking about? I'm getting a little confused. I'm getting a little confused. I've not got the take. I'd like to go to Manish Bariyar.
There are many walls.
Manish, I think
if you look at the Cold War, if you look at the Cold War, you know there are many walls.
I understand.
And these walls must break.
This is the 24 debate. I think we had the Ukraine debate yesterday.
Take advantage of them. And the people are going to take advantage of them.
I'll tell you one thing. Let's cut it all out. Let's cut it all out. You know, your parties like yours, people like you were constantly talking about the fact that the Hindu vote should not be consolidated. The BJP is a Hindu terrorist party. Yogi Adityanath is a Hindu terrorist. Were these statements made or not? The people rejected that. Manish Bariyar. It's not about the way you wanted it polarized on caste and communal lines. It's completely development oriented. Manish Bariyar, I want you to discuss. Manish Bariyar, please. Manish.
No, I think
let's not lose our focus.
Manish. I'm sorry. People are still living in a fool's paradise. I think the voters have changed. Right, things are changing, and people need to change. Political parties also need to change. It's very important. One thing for sure, Arnab, this establishes that still, roti, kapda and makan sells. Across the political divide, if you see, I think the same set of things we are talking, nothing else, right? Vision is very important, because whoever is able to give an alternative vision, this election shows that people are ready to repose faith in them. That's very important. And third, I think if you look at the leaders across the nation, law and order has become a very important issue. They all understand that irrespective of caste and religion, if law and order is good, then all these things, differences would also not crop up and come to the fore. So I would say round 1 to BJP for sure. Round 2, there are 8-9 states more. Hindi heartland is there with Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. Karnataka elections are coming up. You cannot really say that, okay, it is advantage BJP for sure. One more thing I would like to just add, and this is on, Manipur, I would like to congratulate from our party and, our Honorable Chief Minister. We have been there, but I'm sorry to say, it was very odd. I think we might probably in Manipur would be our opposition, the principal opposition party, because NPP is actually, but you're not showing. I thought that at least JDU should have been there. We have won 6 seats. Right. So it was a bit away from the topic, but I was looking at all these figures and I thought that JDU should have been there because NPP is with BJP.
May I come in?
Right. I got your point. Tanveer wanted to respond. I'm looking at the bigger picture. What's your take on the numbers out here? And one of the thoughts I had was that the Congress party is eroding. They may not be realizing it.
Absolutely.
But the Congress party is eroding, and I think what I began by saying was also that there is a lobby.
The chief ministers of the BJP.
Arnab, Congress party
Tanveer
has been eroding.
They are not eroding.
7-8 years. In fact, the writing is on the wall. You
Arnab,
the vote share
Smitaji.
If you look at the vote share of Congress party across the country, is going down. So, and obviously there is a vacuum. So I personally feel that obviously BJP is very strong, but it's also an opportunity for alternative politics. And whoever is going to fill that vacuum with an alternative vision, people are going to give them chance. That's what I particularly feel. And any party which has a perception, which is an anti-law and order party, is not going to survive in this country anymore. I think both Samajwadi Party in UP and to a large extent RJD in Bihar, they suffer from this bias, and that's not really allowing them to come up, because people are not ready to compromise on law and order. They are ready to compromise on everything, but law and order is something which is they're not ready to compromise.
Yes, Tanveer.
Arnab, let me just add something to it. Arnab, today the writing on the wall is very, very clear that Congress has lost the might to fight the BJP. It is only these regional parties or the small parties which can really stop BJP or fight BJP or be an alternative to the politics of this country. Let's take Karnataka as an example. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah has already stitched their ceremonial suits. They all are thinking that he is going to be the chief minister and he is going to be the chief minister. But people of Karnataka definitely need to know that only an alternative party which is fighting Congress are the only one which can fight BJP. Congress is finished, and in next few days, next few years, Congress has definitely failed to exist also. I don't think Congress is a political party which we need to really give importance to. Especially to the minority community, I am telling you, especially to the Muslims, I am telling.
Does it inspire confidence?
Yes, sir.
it doesn't inspire confidence. I'm sorry to say. I think even in Karnataka, if
your
somebody has
party
to
will
challenge
not enter into an
BJP,
alliance with Congress. Can you give that assurance in the list?
if somebody has to
fail
come up with
give an
some
assurance to
really good vision
Mr. Arnab Goswami.
and,
At least now give an
alternative vision.
assurance to me that your party will not join the Congress in an alliance in Karnataka. Can that be given today? If you want to fight the BJP, fight it honestly. Fight it with alternatives, by all means. But don't try to say in the garb of secularism that you will have to piggyback on Congress, and that is what you will eventually do.
The day Kumaraswamy joins Congress, I am going to resign. Sir, the day Kumaraswamy joins Congress, I am going to resign.
Okay,
that's all
so
I
now
can
you
do as a
have
small
an
person.
answer to it.
Because we all
I'll
know
put it
Congress
differently.
is not a political
I'll
party
put it
because of
differently.
money. They really work on.
I'll put it differently. I'll tell you about the more likely situation. Tanveer, I'll tell you about the more likely situation. I think my friend MR got it wrong. Now let me ask him the question that you should have asked. Tanveer, I think after today's result, Kumaraswamy, and you can record this clip, Tom, is more likely to go with BJP.
Absolutely.
In fact, I think in the next 2 or 3 months, the negotiations will start. I think in 6 months or less than that, the alliance will be announced. Am I right? So what I'm saying is there's complete polarization right now. You got to choose a side.
Anything for the interest.
You got to choose a side.
Arnab, we are for the people of Karnataka. We believe
Tom,
in national security. We believe in making this country strong. We believe in Karnataka strong. We believe in giving strength to the farmers. It is not importance of JDS. We want this Karnataka to survive. And Congress is definitely not a political party on which you can really entrust anything.
Smita's laughing.
It's absolutely a political party.
Tom is watching closely.
Now start talking about Antyodaya, no?
Did you watch?
Now start saying Antyodaya,
Tom.
and it will be the complete
Smita.
already. Start saying Antyodaya.
Yeah.
No,
See, this.
I think now Tanveer is going to say Antyodaya,
No.
last man standing, and the marriage will be complete right now before even the announcement of elections in Karnataka.
No, it's a double whammy. For the JDS, I'll tell you how they look at it.
ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ.
Are
Kindly translate.
ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ is not enough, no? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ilva?
Oh God.
He's saying I know something. Whether I know or not, you tell me whether you know the truth.
ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ
No. I think what's going to happen here is, and the way to look at it is, Tom, viewers, let me translate what's going on out here between all of these various panelists. I think what's going on is a trend. The BJP is looking very strong to come back to power under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2024. Now you have a choice. Either you become a national alternative or a state alternative to the BJP if you're not strong enough for that. Then the best thing to do, Tom, is to tie up with the BJP at the state level, get a greater share of power in the state, and promise them support in the center and have some say in a future coalition government. So this kind of, that's the space, Tom. So I think it's a verdict for 24 because I think, Tom, between now and say March 24, BJP is going to get a lot of applications for alliances. That's how I analyze it.
Arnab, I have a very personal encounter to tell you and agree with what you're saying. I have seen the leader of this panelist waiting outside to get a file cleared during the Congress regime. Wherever there is power, they stick around. Ideology doesn't matter. This Karnataka talk about being Karnataka and that whole issue, this is all a hogwash. When power comes, they go around to their power centers. This is a standard operating
Who was waiting with a file? Who was waiting with a file?
His own leader. I don't want to take the name right now, but his own leader was there holding a file, waiting outside the Chief Minister's office. And, I did ask some of the people there. what is this? He says this is a regular practice. He comes with the files, get the files cleared, and moves on. So this is power center attraction, which this party's ideology is all about.
Tanveer's
so all
leader.
this hogwash about Karnataka and the great love for Karnataka is just crude rubbish.
Who are you talking about, Mr. Vadakkal?
I cannot name him because he's not on the panel, or it's not correct for me to name a person. If he's here, I would have named him. But you are a panelist and you are in no position to deny it either.
No, I'm sure you're not
he's
talking
hit
about
back,
me because
and how?
I've never gone now with any file to anybody. Though I know all the chief ministers very personally. The current BJP chief minister is a good friend of mine. I've never gone with a file.
No.
Siddaramaiah is a good friend. I didn't go with a file to even
I didn't
Kumaraswamy.
accuse you of that. I'm talking about a top leader from your party who regularly would be at the Congress chief minister's office outside waiting to get his files cleared. I charge you. And you don't try to divert this issue by saying you carried a file. I'm not charging you. The person is not here. I wouldn't like to name somebody who's not here.
Maybe possibly. I don't know.
This is getting really hot and personal between Tom and Tanveer tonight. I go back on the issue. This is very tempting. I can go into this file business. The issue is Manish.
Not go back to
BJP becomes significantly stronger. The question is, Manish, BJP becomes significantly stronger. Fallout is existing allies like the JDU have little room. I know Nitish Kumar always likes to get a little bit more room, negotiate within, but he doesn't have much negotiating room within the NDA. Manish, A. B. BJP is going to get a surfeit of potential partners.
Well,
surfeit of potential partners, Manish.
I think we have had a long relationship with BJP, barring just an exception in a year or two in between. And both the partners are pretty mature. It is one of the oldest surviving coalition. And I would suggest that the stature of our Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is such that BJP has also given that respect, and he understands, and they understand that there is no other leader in Bihar who has that kind of a stature and has the ability to take every section of the society together. And I would suggest that there is a very good symbiotic relationship between JDU and BJP. If you go further, and you would understand more than anybody else. And I don't see that kind of a possibility. I think the relationship is on equal footing.
I would just say that you can't contest any more elections separately unless you want to ruin your relationship with the BJP, and probably would not be able to do that after this.
But I think it's the other way around, both ways. It cuts both ways. I would not agree with you, because BJP needs as much, JDU as maybe a JDU would require. But you should remember that there was a time where JDU parted ways with BJP, and we won that elections. And BJP, I'm sure, would really look at that particular instance.
Okay, let's go back to the big picture. MR, we are in the last 5 to 10 minutes. This election, MR, was the semi-final to 2024. These are elections which are big. They are to 620 seats. And it is a projection of the real mood of the nation halfway into the Modi government. They put a magnifying lens on the trend and issues the voter decides on. So these elections define the game plan for 24. What would be the BJP's game plan now?
They will do everything that they have done for the last 7 years consistently and persistently. This is what they will do. They will do the welfare programs. They will see that the last mile connectivity of all their welfare programs reaches the Antodaya scheme, the housing scheme, the ration card that reaches the last mile. They will build houses. All these welfare scheme will continue. But there will also be a subtle push on Hindutva. They know that Hindutva sells, and the country wants Hindutva more than what the BJP wants. We have turned
Sunit Chopra, push on Hindutva. Sunit Chopra should respond.
We have turned irrevocably saffron. My jacket says everything.
My point is,
Sunit Chopra, look at that comment.
Hindutva is not the most important thing. It's the rations.
For the people. Not
it's
for
the
you.
houses.
Definitely Marx has not written about Hindutva. Hindutva sells,
even
Hindutva
the
will be
gas
the most important
cylinders,
factor. That is the most
although
unifying
the
factor
cost
today.
of gas is going up.
The gas cylinders, that is the economic Hindutva. The economic Hindutva will be as potent as the political Hindutva. And political
it is not economic Hindutva. Women are not necessarily Hindu.
You may sit in an armchair, comment about it, and get less than 0.5% votes. God bless you. Non-existent, God bless you.
I can tell you, Hindutva will actually create
the non-existent
more
God will bless you, sir.
for the BJP than they have already. And that is why they are not getting.
That is not for you.
They are not getting that
going to come to power. You are not going to be even in the realms of power. People are not going to even touch you with a barge pole. So don't talk about anything to do with national politics. You may write some theory and you be satisfied with it in the Republic of JNU. People are
but I can tell you one thing. You are barking up the wrong
an
tree.
irrevocable turn towards Hindutva politics. Smita,
Arnab, I think there's a
irrevocable,
mistake.
unapologetic, unembarrassed turn towards Hindutva politics.
Look, the Prime
That's what he's saying. But can you project UP on the nation? Smita.
That is... No, the Prime Minister in his speech quite clearly mentioned that 100% saturation of government policies and programs, which he had mentioned from on August 15th, that is what is going to be the agenda of this government till 2024. In the next 1 year, they want to see that each and every person, just remember it is the Labharti, Labharti, Labharti. Every BJP person has today said the beneficiary of government projects, central government project, are the people who have voted the government into power in Uttar Pradesh, in Uttarakhand, in Goa, in Manipur. So that is what the BJP is going to do till 2024. Make sure that every government project that they have brought about 100% saturation. That Hindutva is one of the fallouts of a BJP being in power is a different matter. But Hindutva is not the goal of the BJP government. No, that is not the goal. It is the policies and programs and improving the condition of the Antyodaya, the last person standing in line, the poorest of the poor, Dalit, Shoshit, Vanchit. That is what the Prime Minister said.
I'd like to get it Partha Pratim Bora, who's a political analyst from Guwahati, and I actually disagree a little bit. Okay, I lost the line there with him, but my question here is that I disagree with you, MR, because how can caste, religion, dynasty, Hindutva be treated as factors when this was about the delivery, and the Prime Minister talked about delivery. Don't you agree, Tom? It's about delivery. They saw Yogi deliver. They voted him on merit. They heard Kejriwal's development-based agenda. They voted him in. Tom, do you agree with this, that there's going to be an irrevocable turn towards the right, towards Hindutva politics? Yes.
See, I do not want to get into Hindu or Hindutva politics right now. I'm very clear on what my party expects to happen. The beneficiaries here are dealt with another yardstick. That is empowerment. When the beneficiaries are empowered, and that is a constituency, national constituency being built by the Bharatiya Janata Party across the nation. These people fail to understand that this is a constructive activity that the Bharatiya Janata Party is let loose, and they will deliver. The deliverables are there.
Abab,
the
counters.
Thank you.
Abab versus Tom.
Thank you. Thank you. I apologize for my shabby appearance. I'm sitting in my car. I've been at it all day long. My family's having their dinner. But I want to say one thing, sir. I want to say one thing. It is not about deliverance. We have perfected that model. But the only difference between you and us is that we don't talk about hate. We do not talk about dividing people. And the thing here, sir, is that when Aam Aadmi Party talks about delivering, it talks about delivering a corruption-free. It talks about delivering things where cuts are not given, where nobody is in there to get a cut. And I heard the communists, I heard the Congress. The Congress is finished. The Congress is finished. Why? Because finally, in 2022, ever since 1947, in 2022, the people of India have realized that the family that appropriated Bapu's name does not represent Bapu. So that's for one. They do not represent Mahatma Gandhi. They just appropriated his name for 50 years. 80 odd years. Number one. Number two, the way Punjab has voted, Punjab has shown that whenever the common man is given a choice, that common man or woman will make a choice, and that will be a choice for the better. Number three, sir, when we say we will deliver, of course, sir, I will not be haughty, and I will not say that we will challenge BJP tomorrow or day after. But I want to say one thing, that we are presenting a model to the country wherein everything can be delivered. There can be a corruption-free government without the communal hatred. That is the option that Aam Aadmi Party brings to the table, and we assure you, we will go at it aggressively, sir. We will go at it aggressively. We do not want to spread hatred, but we want to deliver.
Open
we
challenge.
will do that, sir.
No, I think it's open challenge, and I think
openly, sir.
The open challenge. I think what he's saying is it's going to be AAP versus BJP election in 24. Tom,
no, sir,
they are saying we'll go about it aggressively. These are clear statements of political intent.
3 or 4 years, but we'll do it. We'll do it, sir. We will do it.
Promises that they have made to Delhi, they are now making it in Punjab. They said that, well, they would. They are the Aam Aadmi, so they would. So how do you explain Goa? How do you explain UP
sir, Goa,
when there was a washout?
Sir, Goa.
Now the point here is you make promises, people are susceptible to believe you, and your promises are to be broken. We are talking about deliverables without distinction. We are empowering those and they are coming back to us and saying, yes, we want you. That's precisely what you're doing. You have just been sworn, to be sworn in, and then you are making promises which you have not even fulfilled. I mean, these are all in your manifesto, but will you fulfill it? This is the large question that the people of India are going to ask you, and you're going to be closely watched. All these promises, the central government did not help you. In Delhi may work, but Punjab is going to ask you sharp questions. And that sharp questions is deliverable.
I am sitting in Punjab. We are open to the scrutiny.
No, you are sitting in Punjab, but what about the deliverables? You make promises, your water is free, everything is free, air is free.
Yes.
And the point is, what is free? There's nothing that comes free.
Will you allow me 30 seconds?
The only thing available free is the cheese in a mouse trap. Okay, everybody understands that. Unless you deliver and the people believe you, then you indulge into it.
I think this is
them. This is not about charity. This is not about saying everything is free.
Okay, Tom, let her respond. I also have just 1 minute left, Tom. Let him respond, then I'll close with Smita. Yeah.
And that is rewarding the Bharatiya Janata Party. If you take some lessons, if you understand the writing on the wall, you will understand why the Bharatiya Janata Party is successful across the country. It's not just about UP. It's a national constituency that the Bharatiya Janata Party is building. Promises can be made. We also will make promises, but that's not it. You need to deliver. And if you don't deliver, people will send you. I don't know where they will send you, but they will send you away.
Okay. Have you dropped your RSS trumpet? Now let me respond. Sir, we have delivered in Delhi thrice. That's why the people of Delhi.
I'm in Delhi. I want to know what was delivered.
Sir, let me finish. You live in Delhi, but the people of Delhi chose whatever. Now, number two.
We'll wait and watch what the people of Delhi will do.
If I may, sir, can I get 30 seconds? Thank you. Now, the thing is, in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party has delivered the change it promised. It has got all the bad hats, all the, what in Punjabi is called khunds. All the khunds are back in their houses, and we promise you, give us 6 months. Give us 6 months. We will deliver, and then you can carry out any survey that you want. I promise you.
We will give you 5 years. Don't worry. We will give you that long rope. And we will see which government is stopping you.
Smita, last word. Is the AAP the alternative? Smita, is the AAP aiming too high too quick? Smita. This is a very interesting, unexpected battle. The AAP cannot be ignored, and I see a new spring in the step. They're seeing an opportunity. They're going to go for it. I don't think they're going to wait for 29. Smita.
No, you see, there is a vacuum in the opposition, and what I can see is that there will be a magnetic pull towards the AAP among parties or among individuals who find it frustrating. If you don't want to be with the BJP, where do you go? Towards which party do you go? So in Punjab or in other states also, there will be this, Gujarat is coming up, Karnataka is coming up, so there will be this thing, where should we go? If you don't want to play casteist politics, if you don't want to play a single caste-based politics, or if you don't want to play communal politics, whom do you go towards? I think that magnetic pull will be towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Whether they will be able to sustain this kind of a momentum is for us to see, because huge mandate coming in, huge expectations in Punjab.
We will, ma'am. We will, ma'am.
I just say one thing. There are no shortcuts in place. Remember, AAP took a long time to build a cadre in Punjab. Trinamool thought it could swoop in and sing it in Goa. And what is clear is this: it takes a long and hard work. But I think the AAP is in with a chance. But I think the momentum all around is totally with the BJP as of now. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back. A lot of breaking news on the Ukraine front, war coverage, and of course the build-up to the swearing of Yogi's second term as Chief Minister. The breaking news, the live coverage, the live streaming, digital and television is only on the Republic Media Network. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.